Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Matthew Lester and Lakin Dew Russell, taking a look at the sunshine and recovering from, it wasn't all that bad of a weekend. As we mentioned on Friday, we really didn't anticipate much of anything in the way of precipitation, and that's exactly what happened. We had very little, if any, moisture anywhere. So pleasant weekend, temperatures ranging a little bit below normal for this time of the year, but nobody was worried about it. We started off finishing at 72 degrees for a high on Saturday. And yesterday we were up to 74. So very nice weather, partly cloudy. We had a few cloudy spots, but again, as we went through the weekend, very little, if any, precipitation anywhere in the lower peninsula as well as the upper peninsula. This week promises to be a little bit more active with our weather. We are going to be watching not one, but two low pressure systems that will be affecting our weather. Now, at this stage of the game, it appears as though low pressure number one is going to be well up into Canada. It's in northern sections of Minnesota. That is going to drop a cold front through the state, more than likely late in the day tomorrow and into the early evening hours tomorrow night. But the second low, which is going to be trailing, it's going to be on that front, and it's going to be looking at pretty much Kansas and then moving up through Wisconsin up into Canada as we go through the day on Wednesday. And that one is going to generate a little bit better chance of seeing some moisture around here. But right now we're on our way. Temperature-wise, Matthew, what do we have?
Currently, over at the airport, it's sunny at 74. Over at Midland, it's sunny at 75. Here, Radio Center, it's mostly sunny at 72. We have variable winds under 5 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 30.06, and it's falling.
Fremont leading the way so far here at noon or just before noon. We're looking at 79 degrees there. Benton Harbor is reporting 77. So that kind of gives you an idea temperature-wise. Nobody has hit 80 yet. But as we go through the day today, we do anticipate working our way into, if not the low, the middle 80s for a high temperature, which is pretty much average once you get into the month of July. And overnight tonight, we're not going to drop off all that much. We're going to drop off to right around 62. A mix of clouds and a mix of sun as we go through the day today. A few more clouds around early this evening, but then becoming partly cloudy tonight. Very light winds, as Matthew said, we're looking at under 5 miles per hour right now, maybe work our way up to 10 miles per hour, and it will change direction just a little. We'll be looking at a south breeze under 10 miles per hour tonight. Now, tomorrow, we'll see the winds pick up a little again in anticipation of that cold front that will be moving through, but before it works its way through, we'll work our way up to right around 87, 88 degrees for a high, and the humidity is going to be considerably greater than what we have been looking at. Humidity right now is at 56%. My guess is we'll be looking at mid to upper 60s for humidity level tomorrow, so it is going to be a damp one. But as far as rainfall goes, no, not really. I'm not looking for much of anything in the way of rain until sometime Tuesday night. And again, that will be when the front moves through. The chances of that front moving through, I think, are going to be later tomorrow into the evening hours. But it's not really going to be a cold front per se. More, my guess, a wind shift line change. But again, very little change in wind direction. Looking for low of 68 tomorrow night. Partly cloudy skies. There will be some showers around. The front will be moving through. But then we'll keep our eye on a low pressure, which will be over Kansas. That'll be Tuesday night. And during the day on Wednesday, we'll have a much better chance of seeing some clouds and some scattered showers around. It'll be scattered pretty much all day long, but they'll thicken up. And the chances of much greater coverage of precipitation will be later in the day on Wednesday. Now, again, the best chance of seeing A lot more rain is going to be from the central part of the Lower Peninsula north. Southern half of the Lower Peninsula is not going to see a lot of precipitation at all. If they get 2-3 tenths, that's going to be it. We are looking for rainfall amounts approaching an inch in northern Michigan. And some folks may argue that here in the Great Lakes Bay area, we're going to pick up a good 3/4 of an inch of rain out of that system as it moves through later in the day on Wednesday. But the best chance of seeing overall coverage of rain will be the northern half of the Lower Peninsula during the late afternoon and the evening hours on Wednesday. Severe weather, well, anytime you have the temperatures the way they are, 83 for a high on Wednesday, 63 for a low on Wednesday night, there's always going to be a chance of a thunderstorm, and you just never know exactly what's going to happen. Thursday, we're going to be looking at partly cloudy skies because it'll clear off on Wednesday night. That low will zip through the area and be pretty much well to the east in Canada during the late evening hours and early morning hours on Thursday. Thursday is going to start off with partly cloudy skies. Unsettled air, though, is going to be around, so there will be a chance of a scattered shower on Thursday. Best chance will be later in the day on Thursday, but clear skies on Thursday night. After a high of right around 80 on Thursday, middle 50s for a low on Thursday night. Then Friday, mostly sunny skies, 80 for a high, 65 for a low. There will be, once again, another chance of some showers on Friday night and early Saturday morning. The best chance precipitation on Saturday will be in the morning, clearing as we go through the day. Temperatures are going to rev up once again. 87, 88 degrees on Saturday, not out of the question. And Sunday, right now, looks to be sunny skies, 92 for a high. Record high on this date is 97, and that was set back in 1994. The record low was 40, set way back in 1914, 101 years ago, and tied in 1964. Warmest ever, 16th of June, was in 1994. 97 was our high, 73 was our low. The coldest ever, 1980. We're looking for, well, a year ago, we were in the upper 80s. 87 was our high, 58 was our low. Sun will set this evening at 9:20, rise tomorrow morning at 5:54. And we're going to be looking at above average temperatures to take us right up to the end of the month. Precipitation values to be at or slightly above as well. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by today, Matthew, who do we have?
Coming up next, we have Gary Kaufman from Star of the West, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
And coming up a little bit later on, Lake and Dew Russell will be talking a little bit about livestock prices. Kind of interesting the way the livestock has been moving, especially the cattle prices. We'll have a little bit more insight on that from her as we go later on in the program. But before we get to all of that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. If you're like me about a year ago, and some of you that are looking at that roof over the winter and the early spring, and you're saying to yourself, man, I need to have that checked. Well, it might not be a bad idea to have it checked. Who should you have to check it? Should you have someone who installs roofs? Or should you have someone who might have a game plan as to what you should do with that roof? You know, maybe you don't need a new roof. Maybe you need somebody to take a look at it and suggest that they have an improvement on that roof Number one is going to be effective. It's going to work. It's going to last for several years. And it's not going to cost you hardly any money at all when you take a look and see how much a new roof would cost. Well, the gentleman I'm talking about, his name is Ben. He works with Roof Max. And if you've got an aging roof, you don't think about replacing it right away. Not until you talk to Ben at Roof Max. That process is a revolutionary treatment that restores flexibility. It extends the life of your roof, and it will save you not only thousands of dollars, but a big headache. Safe, quick, comes with a 5-year transferable warranty. And once they get up there, they'll take a look at that roof, and they'll have probably some things that should be touched up, should be checked. Maybe you got a crack here and there. Maybe you got a loose screw up there that could pose a problem when you get a heavy downpour. Not a problem. Ben and his staff will take care of it. Those folks are highly qualified, and they really know what they're doing. And when they're done with whatever they do on your roof, you won't even know they were there because everything will be clean. There's not going to be a bunch of stuff laying around on the ground that you're going to have to pick up. They know how to save you money, and they respect your property. 989-859-6751. Again, 989-859-6751. You want to go online? AskBenHow.com. That's all you need to remember. AskBenHow.com. Because a little care today can save you a whole lot tomorrow with that roof. Roof Max, AskBenHow.com. We say good morning to Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. Hopefully you had a nice Father's Day weekend, Gary.
I did, Terry, and hopefully you did as well.
Sure did. I got a nice Father's Day cake.
Oh, boy, just what you needed, right?
Yeah, no kidding. And ice cream and fresh strawberries on top of that, too.
What a wonderful day that was.
It sure was. Yeah. I'll remember it well into the end of the week every time I step on the scale.
Well, yeah, you want to, after you have a day like that, you just want to avoid the scale till the end of the week. So.
Well, you got that right. What's going on as far as our markets go, Gary?
Well, Terry, we left here Friday with a nice bump in the soybean and wheat arena, and the corn kind of followed along. And, part of that news was EPA surprised industry participants last week with a much higher than expected increase in the amount of biofuels used in the nation's fuel mix over the next 2 years. So that sent bean oil futures to limit gains, early Monday here this morning or last night's trade. And following that expansion of the soy complex limits, and then bean oil futures gapped higher and soybeans came along. But that was Friday and early today, and now we've kind of reverted back to weather and true fundamentals, whether it be corn, wheat, or soybeans, as the wheat harvest continues north, and there's really no weather issues in the growing season for corn and beans. So we got a little red on the board here to start Monday.
So what do we have on the board, Gary?
Yeah, right now we can call cash wheat down a nickel, $5.29 on the white, $4.54 on the red. New crop also down 5 at $5.39 on the white, $4.54 on the red. Cash corn down 9 at $3.76. New crop is down 7 at $3.71. Cash soybeans currently down 4 at $9.96, and new crop, let's call it unchanged, Terry, at $9.75.
All righty. Thank you so much, Gary. We'll talk to you again soon, all right?
All right. Sounds good, Terry.
You bet. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. A little bit more in depth as far as what the markets are doing. Not only the ag futures, but some of the other related issues. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us. The Market Report brought to you by Thumb Bank, working with agriculture since 1895. They're in Freeland. They've got 13 locations throughout the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay area. So check them out. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. And by Ed Raymond & Sons, quality clothing and shoes since 1919. Carhartts, Red Wing shoes and boots, Stormy Cromer accessories, clothing, the menswear, the slacks, the shirts. They've got it all at Ed Raymond's. You'd be amazed when you stop by 151 West Broad Street in Chesaning and see what they all have at the store. It's a big store, and they're loaded with equipment, and they're loaded with all sorts of wearables. Check them out. Stop in today, open 7 days, or check them out online by edraymond's.com. We say good morning to Doug Klein. Doug, what's going on?
Well, crude oil's down $2.40 after rallying last week, so that was short term, which is okay for me. So who's hitting new highs? A lot of agriculture stocks hitting new highs. Corteva hits a new high today. Nutrien hits a new high today. CVR and CF both hit new highs. Also, Microsoft hit a new high. Roblox hit a new high. Anheuser-Busch hit a new high today. Remember, they were in the tank back in, January, and they've completely turned around and raced up to new highs. So that's all right. The dollar's still weak, under 98. Precious metals, gold's down, platinum's up. So kind of a trade-off there. So here's your numbers. July corn is 435 and a quarter, down 9 and a quarter. December corn 436 and a quarter, down 6 3/4. July soybeans 1065 and a half, down 4 and a half. November soybeans 1054 and a half, down a quarter of a penny. The July wheat is 538 and a quarter, down 5 and a half, and December wheat 575 and a half, down 5 cents. Crude oil is 69.03, down $2.26. Heating oil is 233.91, down 2 cents. Gasoline 219.73, down 3 cents. Natural gas is 377 3/4, up 10.5 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.3551 Canadian, that's down 33 ticks. The dollar buys 144.09 yen, that's unchanged. The euro's at 115.85, up 33 ticks. And the dollar's at 97.94, down 25 ticks. Gold's at 34.0850, down 29.60 an ounce. Silver's 36.43, up 8 cents. Platinum's 12.61, up 49.10. And copper's at 486.30, down a half a penny.
Doug, thank you.
Okay.
We'll talk to you later. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. This reminder for wheat growers, the 13th Annual Michigan Wheat Program Summer Field Day is going to be taking place at the MSU Plant Pathology Research Center. That's at 3735 College Road in Lansing. Check-in beginning at noon this year, and the program starts at 1. There's also going to be an opportunity for producers to take a look at the Mason Research Farm after the conclusion of the regular program for a wagon tour, walking tour of the wheat research plots. If you would like to attend, all you got to do is go online to miwheat.org and check out the agenda of what's going to be happening. And if you need to fill out any registration check-in, as I said, begins at 12 noon. And the folks at Star of the West in Frankenmuth want to remind wheat growers of that meeting and encourage each and every one of you to attend it for the latest information on hybrids and wheat, what the research is showing down at Michigan State University. Again, that is coming up on the 25th of this month. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Michigan Truck Spring of Saginaw, your complete parts and service headquarters for light, medium, heavy-duty truck and trailers, as well as buses and recreational vehicles. Quality parts and service, very competitive prices for well over 45 years. 800-358-4751, that's the number, or buy online at truckspring.com. And don't forget, that service area open Monday through Friday till 11 p.m. Let's find out what's going on as far as our sugar beets are concerned out in the field right now. Rob Sautenberg joining us right now, the market report of the sugar beets and what's going on. Brought to you by the folks at Foster Blue Water Oil and Blue Flame Propane. Rob, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Terry. How are you doing?
Hey, not too bad. Not too bad. Boy, I'll tell you, the sugar beets have been loving this weather.
They have.
I would assume we would like a little shower, but man, I mean, we've got beets almost covering the row.
Yep, that is correct, sir. I know if we can get some rain, it looks like we've got some rain coming possibly on Wednesday, but that would definitely help them out. The heat units that are out there, it hasn't growing. And like you mentioned, we're getting very close to having a complete row closure out there.
What are producers telling you? Are there any issues out there right now, Rob?
None that, we're actively walking field looking for disease. And last year was about this time that we found the first spots of Circospora, but we're out there looking and we're not finding anything yet, which is a really good sign.
Boy, it sure is. Now, as far as spray application goes, I mean, before you know it, we're going to begin to see some things, especially, wouldn't you say, with the warmer weather on the horizon?
Yep. I know there's quite a few people talking about starting their spray programs the next week or the week after. So we're moving on from the herbicide onto the fungicide part of spraying.
And as long as we can keep the wind down, we should be in pretty good shape.
Oh, absolutely. The wind can die down at any time.
So as far as how far along the sugar beets are compared to other years, where are we?
I would say we're right about average. That cooler May kind of slowed things down, but we're jumping back up to right around average, I would say.
Okay. Rob, thanks a lot for sharing. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you again next Monday, okay?
All right. Thanks, Terry.
You bet. Rob Stoutenberg with Michigan Sugar Company. Well, we've got him on the phone, Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Jerry, hope you had a nice Father's Day weekend.
It was a wonderful weekend, Terry. Thank you.
And you get a little work done over the weekend?
I did. I actually got to pull a few weeds that broke through and did a little bit of trimming, and life was good. It's always good to have a chance to get in the garden.
So what should we aware of right now?
Terry, just got from Ohio State University a little thing on bagworms. And I don't think we've talked about bagworms. They're little insects. They overwinter, and they'll be coming out very shortly. And they kind of chew the leaves up. And depends on what instar they're in, the insect. There's 4 instars that the larvae are in. The smallest ones, they might be an 1/8 inch long. And the largest ones, they might be up to an inch and a quarter. So they hang out in this bag of frass. It's going to look like a little sawdust bag around them. And they'll eat leaves of 125 different species of plant. So sometimes on evergreens, they look like it's a little blob of evergreen needles that are chewed off and stuck together. Chances are that's a bagworm. And we want to be careful in spraying them because there are a lot of parasitoids that will come and actually feed on them and kill them and control them. So that's why we just don't spray every so often to make sure we don't have insects. We've got to target what's there and use the correct spray. There are a lot of biologicals that can be used to help keep the crossover from killing the good guys too, if you see bagworms. But you can look them up and see. But again, bagworms, small bags with an insect inside, a little worm inside, and they end up as they mature into a moth. So that's bagworms in very short.
All right. Jerry, thanks a lot. Will you take care? All righty.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. You need some trimming done with the trees? Legendary Tree Care, they're ready to help. No job is too big, no job is too small. They're fully licensed and insured, and they do specialize in those big projects. LegendaryTreeCare.com. They're there when you need them. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. They've got a great selection of products from Sure Crop and Nature's that'll help you increase your yields, Mr. Farmer. And, of course, the advice of Vic Hupfer and his staff there, too. You got any questions? They'll help you with the answers. Serving you is their business, and they've been doing it since 1983, Freeland Bean and Grain. Along with me, Lake and Dew Russell, talking a little bit about livestock today, and specifically the prices. We had some pretty strong prices in the livestock, didn't we?
Yes, we did. At the end of last week, live cattle futures saw Friday losses of $3.10 to $4.50 as pressure was from a weaker equity market, adding to the risk-off approach. Feeder cattle futures were heading lower into the Friday close, losing $4.75 to $5.10, with August down $3.72 over the course of the week. The CME Feeder Cattle Index was up $1.25 on June 12th, with an average price of $317.10.
So at this stage of the game, volatile markets, but still we're running pretty aggressive on the prices, aren't we?
Yes, yeah, the market experts believe this to be a sign it's time for a correction. However, these markets may not mean lower prices for consumers. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, prices for uncooked ground beef are 5.83% higher in 2025 versus 2024.
Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about livestock tomorrow, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Greenstone Farm Credit Services will have livestock insurance specialists on talking about livestock risk protection and how they work and what products they cover for cull calves and cull cows and unborn calves.
Yeah, and this is something new. So we'll
Yes.
find out more tomorrow on that.
Okay, sounds good.
Lakin, thank you. We'll be right back.
When it comes to strength, reliability, and performance, nothing beats a PowerLift hydraulic door. Built right here in Marlette, Michigan, our custom hydraulic doors are designed for your toughest jobs. Agriculture, aviation, commercial, and more, the price we give is an installed price, and you'll deal with one point of contact from start to finish. To schedule your PowerLift door consultation, call 989-635-8017 or visit PowerLiftDoorsMI.com. PowerLift Hydraulic Doors of Michigan. When you need it done right, we lift you above the rest.
Just a reminder from the Michigan Corn Growers Association, their clay shoot fundraiser is coming up on the 19th. For more information, just go to micorn.org. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.